Hey everyone, welcome into Star Wars Republic, our show about all things Star Wars here on the Arena Productions. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley. Burley, is the Force with you this week when it comes to The Mandalorian, the final episode of Season 3, Chapter 24, The Return? Yeah, has the Force returned to you?
Well, actually, funny you mentioned, I did go to a doctor's appointment. He said my midichlorian count is pretty high.
Okay, I have no idea what that means. I mean,
I
it's
mean,
like it's just like during the prequel era. It's like, it's like what the hell are midichlorians? It's like, okay,
yeah.
what does that mean, right? We know what it means now, but it's like at the time, it's like, huh? But anyway, so we're going to be recapping the final episode of Mandalorian Season 3 here in this video. So just a spoiler warning for you. Of course, all of our episodes here, when we do recaps, are spoiler filled because we're talking about all kinds of things that happened in the episode. So if you have not watched The Mandalorian Season 3 episode, actually Chapter 24 called The Return, I think it's episode 8. Please go and watch it on Disney Plus and then come back and enjoy our recap of the episode itself. So that's your spoiler warning. And if you enjoy all of our content here on the Arena Productions, please be sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the notification bell for when we drop a new episode of Star Wars Republic, as well as all of our content here on the Arena Productions. So we really appreciate all of your support and all of you viewers that are coming to view our channel. So with that said, Burley, let's go ahead and get into the episode. So obviously, Grogu, of course, in IG-12. I mean, obviously the episode picks up, where it left off. You see Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians running through corridors. And then, of course, Mando, he breaks free from those enhanced troopers and he takes them out. And of course, Grogu is like alongside him, kind of behind, following him and all. And I liked the camaraderie between the two in this episode. Obviously, Grogu using his force powers, especially later in the episode, and we're going to get to that. Yeah, I mean, his help was, really beneficial to Mando in this episode. What'd you think?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. Some of the best moments of the episode, I will say, are of Mando and Grogu just, working together and getting through it. And it's nice to see, like, they didn't just use this thing, this IG body as like, they just didn't use it just to be like, hey, let's sell another set of toys here. Yeah. They actually do use the body.
Yeah. Speaking of bodies, I mean, we get, of course, the clones of Moff Gideon in this episode. And I mean, what's really interesting is, where is this going to go? I mean, we're done with Season 3, but we now, of course, obviously we know that cloning is a big part of the remnants of the Empire. So, I mean, obviously we know later on when the First Order is, created, obviously we're going to get Snoke and we're going to get Palpatine again. But I mean, yeah, it's like Moff Gideon for probably for years, he's had this, thing going when it comes to the cloning. Because, I mean, he mentions it in this episode, of course, trying to have aspects of like Mandalorians and Jedi and aspects of himself in these clones. Well, obviously that didn't come to fruition. Obviously, if you've seen the episode, as Mando and Grogu are going through that corridor, it just it basically implodes and all the like fluid comes out of all the capsules and kills them all. But I mean, what did you think of this part? And I mean, how do you think this is going to play out with the cloning aspect of things as we do get into like Season 4 and beyond?
Well, not just even this, it could be for other shows. I didn't see this coming, that he was going to have a bunch of his own clones of him, and then you get the reveal later on by him saying he had put stuff in them to make them force sensitive.
Yeah,
which is a really kind of unique thing, and now kind of gives you more of why he wanted Grogu. Because was he taking Grogu's blood and putting it in there?
Yeah,
and with these clones and DNA, who knows? But I love the little reaction when the eyes open on one of the clones and Grogu's just like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I
Yeah.
think this is to set up. Let's just show us these remnants of the Empire. They're experimenting with cloning.
Yep.
And is this to be bringing the Emperor back? Is this to make new leaders, make new clone troopers? Who knows for sure?
Yeah.
But it's just to get. I think it's just, hey, this is the introduction here.
Yeah.
Expect it, whether or not we'll see it in Ahsoka, what series it's going to come back in, but it's going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this episode, and we were talking about it before we started recording. I mean, it was only like 43 minutes long. Yeah. I was really expecting a 1 hour episode to finish out the season.
At least it should have been an hour.
Yeah,
in my
but with that, I mean, there were a lot of unanswered questions. I mean, like with Pershing, for example, is he dead? I mean, did they completely fry his brain? Is he dead now? We don't know what happened to him. Obviously, with the Shadow Council, I mean, what are they going to be doing next? Obviously, we're probably going to find out more about that possibly in Ahsoka. But I mean, yeah, I mean, and then Kane, the spy. I mean, what happens to her now? Is she going to show up in the Ahsoka series? That'll be interesting to find out. But anyway, let's move on. So obviously, we get the battles, the Mandalorians, the one Mandalorian from the last episode that got through the hole and got into the atmosphere. He goes up and
did he buy the jetpack DLC for
he must
or
have.
the extra tank?
He must have,
because like in other episodes they don't have that much for their jetpack.
Yeah.
This one he's just got like, I don't know, is it like 6 tanks dangling?
Exactly. Yeah, to get up into space there. Yeah. So, but he's able to get up there and get to the the main ship and to tell all the rest of the Mandalorians to get down and reinforce, and so they're able to do that. And the armorer, I was kind of thinking that possibly she could have actually been one of the spies. Obviously not. So of course, the story of the armorer continues. But her and the rest of the Mandalorians go and help Bo-Katan. But then of course we get obviously Mando and Grogu, and they're fighting with these Praetorian guards here, and I just have to tell you, Burley, I mean, the scene with Grogu jumping up and down again, I mean, the effects of that, I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, jumping up and down on that rail.
Him skipping on that rail.
Yeah.
Yeah. The effects, there are some ones there, and then there are some that are like, okay, this was bad.
Yeah. And so then obviously, they get him down and pinned, and you think Grogu's going to die. But then, of course, Mando's there. It's like these two have plot armor all over him, So, but and so it's what was interesting to me is how easily they were able to take out these Praetorian guards. I mean, yes, Grogu with the Force and all pushing them around and stuff, but how Mando is just easily able to, just laser blast them to death. Well, like that. So
yeah. Like the other ones, the guards before they got to these Praetorian guards, like Mando did take a bit of time and had to really work with the knife.
Yeah.
Finding the holes in the armor where he can get the exposed and hit them.
Yeah, and
that was good.
And shout out to R5 there too. Yeah, I mean, being able to bring down the shielding and stuff, and battling off those little black foot droids, that were coming his way. Yeah.
Is it a thing like everything with the Empire that we have this terminal, droids could hack it?
Yeah.
No, like we'll have no security on this terminal.
Right.
They can do pretty much anything we want.
Yeah.
Is that a thing in the Empire?
It must be. Yeah, it must be. Must be a pretty big thing.
Yeah, we have to have this. This is in the union rights of any base we build.
Yeah. And so then, of course, we get to the battle between Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan. And Bo-Katan, of course, she's got the Darksaber, and Moff Gideon's got this electric staff or whatever. But obviously, he's able to crush the dark saber. So now the dark saber is out of the picture. So as we go on now, it has no meaning, probably. I mean, there is speculation that there is a character, a robot character that's going to be in the Ahsoka series. Of course, that was, you know, very insequential in a sense, but was very important when it came to building lightsabers for the Jedi Padawans. And maybe that robot character would be able to, of course, make another dark saber, but that's just speculation. We don't know. But as far as we know, of course, the dark saber is now just a piece of memory, because obviously, you know, the big transport ship, of course, comes crashing down and all. But what did you think of this fight between Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan? There's some pretty good choreography and some good action scenes there. What did you think?
I like the fight with this, and it's really trying to like, I know the whole purpose of this fight is to show like Mandalorians work best together.
Right.
It's not that they're fighting alone.
Right.
So I like that she came in, took Moff Gideon on, and so Din, Pedro Pascal, can go save Grogu.
Right.
And like that, so because she knows as soon as he's saved, they're gonna come back and help her.
Yeah.
And like I do like the fight. She is hitting Gideon. She is getting hits on, but he's just got like the better armor.
Right.
He's just got stuff ready. Like, it's almost like he has prepared to fight her.
Right.
Like, he knows her style and knows how to beat her. And like
Right.
him crushing the dark saber, thinking, okay, yeah, I've got you. You don't have this anymore.
Yeah.
You have no real weapon.
They're nothing without their trinkets, the Mandalorians. Yeah.
Yep. I
Yeah.
was just about to bring that line.
Yeah. And then, of course, Grogu again comes to save the day with his force powers, obviously. Because, yeah, that ship comes in, and then you see Moff Gideon being, like, incinerated there. So I think it's pretty easy to say now that he is dead.
But because
Who
we had
knows?
cloning in this episode,
Right.
he could have had a backup clone on another planet to
Yeah.
bring him back. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
I love how she's got that little shield, and Grogu's just like, girl, I got this.
Right. It's like, you don't need that little shield. Turn that thing off. You know. So, yeah. So we get towards the end of the episode, obviously, and of course, Bo-Katan is the new leader, and she relights the forge there. So, and then of course, you know, we get the scene with Mando officially adopting Grogu. So now he is now officially Din Grogu. I just like, okay. I think it's great. I think it's cool, you know, like becoming a part of the family for him and all. But I just don't see, like, later on. I memean, Grogu being a Mandalorian, I mean, just forever. I just don't see it, you know. And I think in the future, in the new movies that are coming out, like with Rey establishing a new Jedi Order and stuff, we might see Grogu again, and might be joining her. I just, because by that time, probably, you know, Din Djarin is probably either an old man or dead by then. And so what is Grogu going to do? Is he going to continue to be a Mandalorian? I just don't see it. I don't see it, you know.
Yeah.
But for now, it was a sweet kind of an ending, you know. And I liked how the scene here where Mando, he's going back to being what he was in the first season. He's going back to being a bounty hunter again, and he goes to, you know, the New Republic guys there, and is like, hey, I'll be an independent contract for you. You don't have to tell the Republic anything. I'll just, you know, work through you, and I'll get you some of the remnants of the Empire or whatever, you know, as a bounty again. You know, so basically I like this aspect of it, because that's what I really liked about season 1, where he was just a bounty hunter going on particular, you know, job hunts. So what did you think of that?
That I did like. just to get back to the formula, get back to what we want, what you and I have both wanted. I wanted him to be back and be a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And like since they wrapped up the whole Mandalore's back. They're in charge of Mandalore. Bo-Katan's got her dynasty there. Now it's like, okay, that's all done. Let's get him back to this. And him hunting Empire and other bounties, great. I love it. You knew as soon as you saw the IG head, they're like, yeah he's gonna take that.
Yep. And then of course he goes back to Navarro, and Grief Karga gives him of course the deed to the land there, and he gets his little cabin, and that's how the episode ends. Basically he's just camping out there at the cabin, and of course Grogu's playing with the frogs like he was with Luke, at the end there. So and of course, yes, IG-11 is back, and he's now the new Marshal, So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's like, I mean, this could have been like for the very series finale of The Mandalorian. I mean, when they ever do decide to finish up The Mandalorian, this could have been like the last scene. I just don't know where they're going to go now. Obviously, I mean, and we're gonna talk about that here in a second. We're gonna talk about Ahsoka, but I mean, we might not see Mandalorian again for another year and a half at least. Probably season 4 probably won't be coming until 2025.
Yeah.
So I mean, do they just shelve Mando until then? I mean, or I don't think he's going to show up in Ahsoka. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if he's. I don't think he's going to show up in Ahsoka. They'll have him show up because there's been that rumors that we're going to get another Boba Fett. We've heard rumors on that.
Another season.
Season or another show like with Boba Fett. So if there's that, you could have Mando show up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like, if this was a series finale, like just the ending of him sitting here at his new little house here and him watching Grogu, and just sitting there, I would feel as a fine series ending.
Yeah.
But I think this is just to be like, okay, he's done for now. I think that I would implore them, if you have to, take 2 years. Take 2 years.
Yeah.
And sit and really write it out, because here's something. This season has been uneven. We've talked about the run times, where you have you'll have 30-minute episodes, 50, 40 minutes, and it feels like filler in this season.
Yeah. I mean, it's like just 2 episodes about Mando redeeming himself, and then they just completely do a 360 and they go to Dr. Pershing on Coruscant. Just completely goes away and goes to Coruscant with Pershing and Kane. And then after that, then the last 2 episodes, the end of the previous episode and then this episode, Moff Gideon. So I mean, they could have built it up more about how he created the base on Mandalore there. So that's still a big question mark. I mean, how long was he actually having something built there?
Well, if he's building stuff there, and you had that one race of Mandalorian people there, you think they would notice like a TIE fighter that was going in? See, that's the kind of stuff is like, you could have explained it like episode 2, 3, where Mando redeemed himself.
Yeah,
great. You could have then did a tease to Moff Gideon.
Right.
Showed us Moff Gideon. Give us stuff like, oh shit, we know Moff Gideon's there. Okay, now we got to grab every Mando from everywhere. Do an episode or 2 of them getting into every Mandalorian. Then them prepare like a training montage and giving a plan and being like, okay, this is what we do have from R5 from scanning and all this. And then them trying to take back Mandalore and all the and like 2-3 episodes there. I think that would have been a much better season. Like, we didn't need that one episode where it was Jack Black and Lizzo. I thought it was Lizzo. We didn't need that episode where that episode was 40 minutes of wasted time and the last 2 minutes were actually anything pertinent.
Well, come on,
As-
Burley. You liked seeing Christopher Lloyd, though. Yeah, come on.
I like seeing Christopher Lloyd, and Jack Black did a good job. It was just a matter of, was this an episode that we needed?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of the finale of the season was really good. I really liked it, but yeah, I mean, there were just some parts of the season. It's like, where are they going with this? You know, I mean, it's like, what are they doing? So I think the beginning and the ending of the season were good, but yeah, that the middle part of the season could have been different. So now let's talk about our next show. We're going to be recapping when it comes out here on Star Wars Republic on the Arena Productions. Of course, Ahsoka, which is coming in August. Yes. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, of course. And if you haven't seen my trailer breakdown of Ahsoka, please go and check that out as well. I'm really excited for this. Ray Stevenson, obviously, I'm really looking forward to seeing him as kind of one of the rogue, ex-Jedi that, of course, is working with Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's going to be making his return, which I thought maybe they would have him return, because when I first saw the title of the final episode of The Mandalorian, it said The Return. I'm like, oh, okay, Thrawn. Yeah. It's like Thrawn's coming. He's returning. But no, he didn't. But he's definitely going to be in, of course, Ahsoka. So that's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it, and to see the other members of Star Wars Rebels, the animated series, come into live action with Sabine and with Hera and Chopper. And of course, we're probably going to get Ezra as well at some point. I'm really excited for that. How excited are you for Ahsoka, Burley?
I'm really excited. I like the character. What we got was it? I can't remember. Was it season 2 of Mandalorian? We got introduced. Season 2. Yeah.
Yep.
And I always do like the character Thrawn. So, and he's heavily going to be involved.
Yes.
In this, so it's like, give me Thrawn. Like, they teased Thrawn in this season.
Yeah.
So you're going to get quite a bit of Thrawn.
Yes.
And it's going to be interesting because you get Ahsoka. Are we going to get Luke? Are they going to bring back Luke for a small cameo?
It's possible. Or even Leia, maybe. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
I see that. I see them mentioning Leia.
Mm-hmm.
I see them, if they're going to bring back anyone, Luke. They'll bring back Luke for a small cameo. They'll make mentions of Leia, I imagine.
Yeah. We shall see, but we will be bringing you, of course, recap episodes of Ahsoka when it comes out in August. We're really excited for that. And then if any other major news of Star Wars comes out, we'll try to break that for you here on Star Wars Republic, our show about all things Star Wars here on the Arena Productions. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley. So another season of Mandalorian is in the books. So yes, we're looking forward to Ahsoka, which is coming next. So until then, may the Force be with you, and we will catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Out.
This is the way.
This is the way.